This is Slickery Trigger for Rebel Road Tactical. With proper care and feeding, your pistol will be ready when you need it. There to save your life. Shouldn't your gear be that good? Whether you need a holster for comfortable everyday carry or a tough-as-nails holster for your next training course, Rebel Road Tactical has what you need. Check us out on the web at rebelroadtactical.com.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-7602 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-7602 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-7602. That's 1-800-516-7602. Again, 1-800-516-7602.
All writers are prone to becoming so attached to our characters and stories that we struggle to see why a passage may not be working. It takes another set of eyes to help us nurture our writing to full maturity. At Black Wolf Editorial Services, we strive to enable writers to develop and grow, shaping stories into masterpieces that can stand the test of time. Editing services are provided for all genres and all age categories. Services range from critiques of the short story through to line edits of the full-length novel and copy editing for those preparing for publication. We also offer assistance on generating a writer's bio for your websites, as well as help with those book blurbs and promotional material. We won't abandon you to the masses. We want to celebrate with you in your successes. Black Wolf Editorial Services, nurturing your writing into maturity. For a full list of services and prices, visit us at blackwolfeditorial.com.
If you want to work until you keel over, have less of everything in retirement, or give back more of your hard-earned money to the stock market again, then just ignore me. But if you'd like to protect the money you save, receive a steady, predictable retirement income, and enjoy financial security for as long as you live, then listen to this. You can download a free report that reveals the wealth-building secrets Wall Street and the banks don't want you to know. You'll learn how you can get guaranteed growth, safety, and real prosperity without risking your money in the Wall Street casino, and how to get the money you need when you need it, simply by asking for it. This is the best way to have a 100% secure retirement, and know your money will last as long as you do. To learn more about this method, and to get your free report, go to 29security.com. That's the number 29security.com. 29security.com. Go to 29security.com.
Is debt beating you down? You need discipline. You need the Debt Ninja. If you've been caught in a financial trap and need to be set free, then you need the Debt Ninja. Want to stop those harassing collection calls, start saving thousands in interest and fees, and get out of debt fast? Then you need to call the Debt Ninja. The Debt Ninja will find the best companies across the country that will help you consolidate all your bills into one easy payment, reduce your payments by 30 to 50%, and get you out of debt fast. If you have unsecured debt of $10,000 or more, such as credit cards, loans, or medical bills, call the Debt Ninja for a free 15-minute consultation.
Call 800-826-1246. 800-826-1246. That's 800-826-1246. Call today.
The Debt Ninja.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control over your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank account, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problems now by calling the experts at Tax Mediation Services and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. Tax Mediation Services is accredited by the Better Business Bureau. Call now for a free case review and a price protection guaranteed quote.
Call Tax Mediation Services now at 800-610-9050. That's 800-610-9050. 800-610-9050.
They say we offer simple answers to complex problems. Well, perhaps there is a simple answer. Not an easy answer, but simple.
It's common ground. It's common ground. It's common ground. It's common ground.
We have serious problems to solve, and we need serious people to solve them.
Republicans and Democrats.
All right, folks, happy Saturday morning. It is just a few minutes past the hour of 10, and that means it is time for Finding Common Ground. I'm one half of the crew, Mr. Rick Robinson. Also have our newly inducted member of the iHeart Media family, one Mr. Bryce Robbins. His show Opinion Nation is now officially on iHeart. If you didn't know that, make sure you go show some love. Look him up. You can find him by putting Opinion Nation in quotation marks. Should be able to pull it up straight away. Make sure you give it a like. If you don't have the app yet, what are you doing? Go download it. Go get it now. All right. Good morning, Mr. Robbins. How are you, sir?
I am good. Had a good week. Just school anymore. Starting to get ready for college. Got on iHeartRadio. My interview with Jill Stein, I bothered them about it, so now it's going to be on August 13th, so don't miss that. I'm going to have a lot of questions for her.
Isn't she the one that keeps canceling on you, though?
Canceled twice, yeah, but this time I got in touch with another person who handles her.
Bryce is like, hey, bitch, I'm on iHeart now. Come on.
Exactly. No, I contacted her campaign manager, and I was like, listen, I've been trying to get an interview with Jill Stein. I got 2 dates, was canceled on both times, and every time I email you guys now, I'm not getting an email back. I'm talking to this one guy, and he's just, not emailing me back. She was very apologetic. She's very sweet about it. We worked out a date. It's perfect. So now she's coming on. But Dick Cheney said no.
Yeah, well, there's a reason Dick Cheney said no, you 9/11 truther, you.
No, 9/11 truther.
You just told me if he came on the show, you were going to ask him if George Bush was behind 9/11. That sounds an awful lot like a 9/11 truther to me. I think I may have to reconsider our friendship, sir.
I wouldn't actually ask him that.
Oh yes, you would have. Don't lie to me. You would have. You would have done it for the ratings. Don't lie.
Okay, for the ratings, I feel like I'm a ratings whore right now.
If you take away ratings, you're pretty much right.
I hate you.
You so walked into that one. Okay, so actually, we were kind of doing this one as an audible, and I found something that I think is rather scary. I don't know if anybody knows who Mark Cuban is. I'm sure that's a name probably Bryce recognizes.
He's from Shark Tank.
Yeah, the really, really gruff guy on Shark Tank. He actually just issued an apology to the world in regards to Trump's nomination. Celebrity businessman Mark Cuban on Thursday night apologized to the world for the GOP's nomination of Donald Trump for president. Dear world, please ignore what the loud guy in the suit is saying. Americans are nothing like him. We love our country and are proud of it. Cuban said in a tweet that got nearly 20,000 retweets. So if that guy is like, this guy's even too crass for me, I'm starting to feel like I made the right decision several months ago. I'm just saying. Wow.
Donald Trump is, and in the beginning I almost flirted with the idea of him, but I've completely done a 180, and Donald Trump, and I'm not afraid to say it, is racist.
You didn't just flirt with the idea of him. You liked his tiny hands. Don't lie. You were attracted to the tiny hands.
For a little while, yeah, it seemed cool. Like, this guy says his mind. And then I realized this man is racist. And the fact is, I used to say, oh, he's not racist. People go overboard when they call him racist. No, he is racist. The things he says are racist. Telling Judge Curiel he can't do his job because he's a Mexican, racist. Banning people because of their religion, racist. I mean, the list goes on of the racist things he says, and sexist, and just downright disgusting. He pointed at an African American man and said, "That's my African American." I'm gonna get the clip.
Yeah, I'm sure they've heard it. You can pull it up if you want. Actually, I laughed my butt off at that, not because of what he said, but because I know what he was trying to say, and it just...
I don't know what he was trying to say.
Well, no, I know, and I understand that, but at the same time, it reminded me of a tweet that I found on his son's timeline from like 2 years ago, where they were like praising the fact that his groundskeeper, or his greenskeeper as they called him, missed his sister's wedding to work for them. Love the loyalty to my family. And in quotation marks is this, maybe someday she'll have another. And that was apparently a quote from the greenskeeper. Now, I don't know the relationship with the brother and the sister. Maybe the brother didn't much care for the fiance or the soon-to-be husband, so maybe he elected to stay at work. But just the fact that they would tweet out something like that just made them sound entirely too waspish for me. First of all, who calls that? I mean, their greenskeeper? What the hell?
I have the clip here, and then I want to talk about Gare Bear. All right, here.
Want to talk about who?
African-American guy who is a fan of mine. Great fan. Great guy. In fact, I want to find out what's going on with him. You know what look at my African-American over here. Look at him. Are you the greatest African-American? Look at my African-American. Look at my African-American.
Okay, I had to replay it a couple times so people could, know what they just heard. All right, first of all, when you put possessive terms over African-American, sounds a little slavery-ish.
Your name is Toby! Oh, sorry.
Yeah, exactly. But anyways, I wanted to talk about Gare Bear because I've had enough of Trump. And when I say Gare Bear, I mean Gary Johnson.
Bryce is hang on, folks. Good thing we don't have the webcam. Bryce is whipping out the Johnson on the show. Oh, sorry.
Time to take out the Johnson because we're talking about Gary Johnson. Someone started the hashtag Feel the Johnson, and
no.
No, it was supposed to be like Feel the Burn, Feel the Johnson. I was just thinking to myself, like, do they realize, or are they just stupid?
No, they realize, trust me. It's one of those double entendre hashtags. They were hoping it would catch on just because of the implications.
All right. Well, anyways, you are voting for Gary Johnson. I am strongly considering him.
Wait, so hang on. Does this mean we are dangerously close to finding common ground on our presidential candidate of choice?
I think if we vote for the same candidate, we just have to get a new cast for this show. Like that's the ultimate. You found common ground. Like,
yeah, it's like this will be our last broadcast because we just voted for the same presidential candidate. We're gonna need to find new opposing viewpoints.
Well, here's the thing. Like, he's moderate on the environment, which is the only thing that really bothers me, and weird on like some educational things. But he's pro-gay marriage. He's pro-choice. He's like there are some things.
So all the things that you like about him are the things that I hate about him. So maybe we haven't found common ground after all.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, and this is something that I've always honestly believed. Nobody's going to align 100% with everything that you believe. What you have to do is figure out whether you can set aside some of the things that you disagree with them about. Look, a lot of these things, and even as somebody who's been staunchly part of the pro-life movement, a lot of these things are not necessarily something that should be being dealt with at the government level. Roe v. Wade settled a lot of that. My issue with abortion isn't the fact that it still exists, it's the fact that it's gotten way too easy, and there are way too many people that use it as birth control. But that's not necessarily anything that I should be able to hold against them. So that's one of the reasons why at this point, and I've said it before, this is still a lesser of three evils for me election at this point. I'm about 90-10 opposed to Hillary, 80-20 opposed to Trump, and about 70-30 opposed to Johnson. He was not my first choice, and if you actually go to my Twitter feed, you'll see who was my first choice as the Libertarian candidate, but he didn't pull it off, was Austin Peterson. He's one of the only pro-life Libertarians that I know of, and even I didn't agree with 100% of what he said because he's entirely pro-life. He's even opposed to the death penalty. I think occasionally the death penalty is warranted.
Oh, Austin Peterson, the guy who said that climate change was a result of the Obama administration. Austin Peterson. Or no, the death of the coal industry is a result of the Obama administration and his overbearing, ridiculous environmental regulation. I hate Austin Peterson.
You would, but that's okay.
We have found much more common ground with Gary Johnson. But
so anyway, you've already mentioned the things that you like about Johnson. So you said at this point you are leaning towards voting for Johnson. That wouldn't have anything to do with Hillary's recent Veep pick, would it?
Well, here's the thing. It's not that I'm leaning. I made this rule for myself. If Gary Johnson makes the debate stage, which is very likely, I don't want to tell any listeners that it's not likely. It's very likely. He just needs 15% in one national poll, and I've seen him at 13%. So it's not like this is an unlikely thing if he were to make the debate stage. I want to make that clear. If he makes the debate stage, I will strongly consider pressing the button for Gary Johnson. If not, I think I'm still going to be with her, because there is no fucking way I will ever be with him.
Yeah, I can't do it. I cannot pull the lever for either one of them. The thing that honestly astounds me about this election cycle is both of the parties for the last two cycles have been talking about how diverse they are and how much more the GOP needed to embrace diversity and how the Democrats had already embraced diversity. Look at the tickets. Look at them. Two old white guys, one crusty old white lady, and another white guy. What happened to the diversity? Where did it go?
I don't know why sad music is playing. Sorry. All right, yeah.
Because you're crying over the death of your party?
Essentially, yeah.
I mean, I'm crying over the death of mine, so if you want to cue up that music, you're welcome to. Because, yeah.
My party? What about the death of your party?
Dude, whatever. Your party's going right down the same road mine is. Have you seen all the things coming out about the DNC WikiLeaks stuff? I mean, this stuff is crazy. I mean, your party's openly admitting in emails that they're just as racist as everybody thinks the GOP is.
Yeah, I did see that, and yeah, I hated that, and yeah, I want to kill myself. That was awful. They were trying to attack him on his religious beliefs? Are you kidding me? I mean, what is... Honestly, and I don't know if this would help or hurt, but the government needs to take more control over the party process. I'm sick of this nonsense with these weird rules. It needs to be a standard set of fair rules for everybody. We need an honest legislator to craft out a bill that would honestly help set bipartisan party regulations for both Republicans, Democrats, Libertarian, Green, everybody, that everyone has to abide by. And I don't understand why.
Why is your answer always more government control?
Because honestly, I just think that these private parties, they rig it for themselves. They know what they're doing. They know, come on. The Democrats knew they didn't want Bernie. It's terrible.
So hang on. So see, this is the difference between your and my philosophy, and I don't think this is anything that you and I are ever going to find common ground on. So your answer to the fact that the parties are looking out for themselves and have their own best interests at heart is to have the government step in and fix it, when in reality what we really should be doing, and what a lot of us are starting to seriously consider, is either bolstering the Libertarian Party so that they can actually start becoming a true third-party option in these elections so that we can quit repeating the same mistakes over and over and over again, or simply building another party much like the Whigs did with the Republican Party. Because the one thing that this RNC in Cleveland did was it showed the world that the GOP is done with conservatism. I'm not done with conservatism. I've been saying this on Twitter all week. I will continue to stand for conservatism even if that means that I have to stand alone. Those aren't words to me. That's what I started all of this for. So by you wanting the government to step in and control more of it, all you're doing is advocating pretty much what they're already doing, because you don't realize it's the government that already rigged the system in the first place.
No, my problem here is that it wasn't so much the government that rigged the system; it was the people.
No, you're not getting it, Bryce. The people that are rigging this system are the ones that are already entrenched in the government. The same people that Donald Trump for months has been saying that he was opposed to and he would fight tooth and nail are the ones that eventually got him the nomination. The grassroots folks were body blocked on the RNC floor when they kept calling for a roll call vote, because the grassroots folks didn't want Donald Trump. The establishment folks did. The establishment folks are the ones that are already entrenched in the government. The establishment folks are the ones that are already running both parties. So by having the government get into the middle of it again and make even more regulations, all you're going to do is make the establishment even stronger.
Which is, again, why I said we need an honest legislator to craft out some bill that really sets in stone the rules for running your party. I mean, there should not be any, and when I say honest bill, I don't think that's unlikely. I think that there are Dodd-Frank, for example.
But you're, I mean, don't take this the wrong way, but you're being naive. The government is only ever going to do what is in the government's best interest. They are doing
the current system with parties are. I mean, come on. You think if the Libertarian Party gets big enough, which they are, you don't think that they're going to go the same way that the Republican Party did eventually, or the Democratic Party did?
Maybe they will, but that's the problem. No matter how many times you tell the government you want them to change the rules, no matter how many times you keep asking the government to step in and fix the system, human nature typically always takes over. And what has to happen every single time is there has to be a group of people willing to stand up and say this far, no further. We have gotten to that point in both parties. This is historic. We have 60% of the people involved in both parties don't want either one of their nominees. And yet when you start talking to folks about a third-party run, now's not the time. If now is not the time, when the hell is the time? Because nobody wants either one of the front runners except for their core base, which is establishment in both cases. The establishment are already the government elites. You can't keep allowing the watchers to be the watched. It doesn't work that way, because who's going to watch them when they start screwing up? Nobody. That's what we've been watching for the last 30 years. People entrenching, people building up sandbags, building up their bases, building up walls so nobody can get to them. That's what our government has been doing, and we've all been asleep and not paying attention. And now the damage is done, and we have two parties that have been screaming for a decade that they wanted diversity, they wanted change, they wanted more inclusion, and now they're all running white old people. This proves just how broken the system is, and the government can't fix it. We have to.
I mean, again, but at the point, I think that people who want the change need to become the government. It's these very people, these honest people, who need to take back the government from the lobbyists, from Wall Street, from
whoever. See, that I agree with, but that wasn't what you said. You said you wanted the government to come in, step in, and make changes. You didn't say...
That's clear when I said you need a good, honest piece of legislation. You need someone who's honest to do it. I feel like Bernie Sanders would have been the man to do it.
Well, I mean, let's be completely honest. I really don't think Bernie Sanders would have been able to accomplish much. The only thing that I really was a fan of with his, because I happen to agree with him, is the decentralization of the banks. I think the Fed needs to be abolished. I think the banks need to be broken up. I mean, we need to start making sure that the money starts returning to the people, and that's one of the things that the government has done a very poor job of when they started centralizing everything. The problem Go ahead.
Did you just... I'm sorry. Did you just agree with Bernie?
I've agreed with Bernie on that all along. I've told you that was the only position of his that I support. Because
just say it one more time, just for my own shits and giggles. Just say it one more time.
No, because you want me to, so no. And it's not like I haven't said it before. Look, I've always been more of a middle-of-the-road kind of guy. I mean, the thing that nobody really takes into account, whether you're talking about the right wing or the left wing, it's all part of the same bird. You can't go too far one way or the other, or you start flying in the wrong direction. So I honestly think middle of the road is the way that we need to go for most everything to be able to work. The problem with our system is we've gotten away from that. We now are run by ideologues who think that anybody who disagrees with them is an enemy. And this is now amplified 100-fold by the Democratic and the Republican choices for president. I actually saw an article that Donald Trump, who should be focusing on Hillary Clinton, is considering starting a political action committee to take Cruz off at the knees in Texas, all because he wouldn't endorse him at the convention. We're talking about someone who is going to do things that we haven't seen since World War II. We're talking McCarthyist-style lists. We're talking dissenters are probably going to be named domestic terrorists. I mean, I will probably be one of them by the time this is over if he happens to get in office. And I understand that, and I'm not saying I'm going to be up there on the list, but I'll probably be there somewhere, and I'm still not stopping because this is wrong. The fact that both parties have gone as far off the reservation as they have, and nobody has done anything to stop it, this is wrong.
Well, just on the note of what you just said, with Ted Cruz, I've never really agreed with Ted Cruz on much. I did once agree with him when he said we should get rid of subsidies for energy. I agree with him on that. But I agree with him a second time. When he didn't endorse Donald Trump and he said, this election or in any election, you have to look back when you're old and gray and tell your kids why you did that. And then he was like, so vote your conscience. And I admired that because Donald Trump is a man of disgusting attributes who tried to tarnish him, his wife, and even his father. And he wouldn't have it. So I give Ted Cruz, a tip of the hat for that one. And that's the only time I'll ever tip my hat to Dracula. But, really. I mean, and I feel like if Donald Trump doesn't win, it's going to be Ted Cruz who's the last one standing. He's going to be the one laughing last.
It's not Dracula, it's Grandpa Munster. Come on, get it right.
Whatever. I think not only was that a bold move, but it was a strategic move on his part. Because if Donald Trump loses, it's going to be everyone is going to go to Ted Cruz and be like, that's right, I stuck it out with conservatism. I stuck it out with Republicans, whatever. I weathered the storm. And he's just going to be the new face of the party, which kind of scares me. But Donald Trump might destroy that with his campaign on John Kasich and him. Because, I don't know why, but that he's doing that.
I know why. Donald Trump is a narcissist. Let me tell you what happened with this. And this is something that nobody's really talking about. So that meeting where they called Cruz in and offered him the chance to speak, Cruz blatantly told them, I will speak, but there will not be an endorsement. Then hours ahead of time, because all of this stuff is pre-screened and approved, a speech was submitted that outlined everything that Cruz was going to say, and there was no endorsement. Donald Trump, at that time, told Ted Cruz if he didn't change his mind and endorse, he was going to orchestrate crowd boos. He was going to have people in the crowd ginning up the crowd boos, and that he had an unnamed female and male talk show host who would set it upon themselves to make sure that Ted Cruz was destroyed.
Who's the female and male talk show host?
Take two guesses. Come on. Who are his loudest mouthpieces?
Ann Coulter.
She's not a talk show host.
I'm sorry. Okay, please give me the answers.
Okay, so the male one. Come on. You got to be able to give me the male one.
You're putting me on the spot here, Rick. Who?
Starts with an S. Has a show on Fox News.
Sean Hannity.
There you go. And I'm pretty sure the other one, the female unnamed talk show host, was Miss Laura Ingraham, who also happens to be his most female staunch supporter as a talk show host.
I thought you meant like radio talk show. I didn't think you
Laura
meant
Ingraham has a radio show, sir.
I didn't know that. Okay, cool. And Laura Ingraham gave the Nazi salute, so...
Well, of course, they're saying that's not what that was. I don't really know whether it was or it wasn't. What I do know is that halfway through the RNC, I started hearing things that sounded suspiciously, get paid to talk for a living, can't pull it off, like Democratic talking points. And it's just kind of scary because the funny thing is when the Democrats mention those talking points, the GOP boos. When supposed Republicans mention those talking points, the GOP cheers, which proves to me what I've been saying now for the last 7 years. We have been staunchly entrenched in a brand war and not awake enough to notice. It doesn't matter anymore. Whether you pick up the Coke or pick up the Pepsi, you're still getting a soda. It doesn't matter anymore whether you vote Democrat or Republican because you're still getting screwed. And this just proved it.
So... were you actually there, or just some other people from K98 were there?
I was not there. I didn't have the vacation time stored up or the fundage, but we did have JD and Stacy there who have all kinds of interesting footage and have been sending back video clips and everything else. So I'm sure now that they're back at home next week should be interesting because we'll actually get some firsthand accounts on the radio of what they saw, what they heard. And I already know some of it because we've been talking and I'm not going to spoil it. So everybody's going to have to tune in on Tuesday and Thursday to hear what they had. All right, so at this point, folks, we got to take a break. It is that time again. We got to pay some bills. You are listening to Finding Common Ground, and I can't believe we're already halfway through the show. We'll be right back.
They say we offer simple answers to complex problems. But perhaps there is a simple answer. Not an easy answer, but simple.
It's common ground. It's common ground. Common ground. It's common ground.
We have serious problems.
This is Slickery Trigger for Rebel Road Tactical. With proper care and feeding, your pistol will be ready when you need it. There to save your life. Shouldn't your gear be that good? Whether you need a holster for comfortable everyday carry or a tough-as-nails holster for your next training course, Rebel Road Tactical has what you need. Check us out on the web at rebelroadtactical.com.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-7602 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-7602 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-7602. That's 1-800-516-7602. Again, 1-800-516-7602.
All writers are prone to becoming so attached to our characters and stories that we struggle to see why a passage may not be working. It takes another set of eyes to help us nurture our writing to full maturity. At Black Wolf Editorial Services, we strive to enable writers to develop and grow, shaping stories into masterpieces that can stand the test of time. Editing services are provided for all genres and all age categories. Services range from critiques of the short story through to the line edits of the full-length novel and copy editing for those preparing for publication. We also offer assistance on generating a writer's bio for your websites, as well as help with those book blurbs and promotional material. We won't abandon you to the masses. We want to celebrate with you in your successes. Black Wolf Editorial Services, nurturing your riding into maturity. For a full list of services and prices, visit us at blackwolfeditorial.com.
If you want
It's a simple answer. Not an easy answer, but simple.
It's common ground. It's common ground. It's common ground. It's common ground.
We have serious problems to solve, and we need serious people to solve them.
Republicans and Democrats.
All right, folks, we are back. We are live into the last half of Finding Common Ground. Don't forget to stay tuned. As soon as we stop talking, we'll roll straight into Opinion Nation, and Bryce has it chocked full of guests. Why don't you go ahead and give folks a little bit of a sneak preview so they can figure out if they want to stay tuned or not. A lot of the folks listening right now are probably conservative, so I can't make any promises, but you never know.
Well, if you're conservative, you're going to want to stay tuned. If you're liberal, you're going to want to stay tuned, because on Opinion Nation, we are finally going to have a talk with a lot of people, a lot of activists of Black Lives Matter, of the movement. We're going to have a special guest at the very end. I wonder who that is. That's hinting it probably is going to be Rick. To talk about both sides of the argument. Because I feel that in our society, we are just saying, we're looking at it at face value as opposed to really what's within. And I'm very conflicted on the issue, but again, I'm a white male, so I really don't know if I have much to say or contribute, but that's why not all my guests are white.
Wait, hang on. Are you sure? Because I'm pretty sure the DNC would call you a Jew.
That's probably true. Just like they did to Bernie.
Sorry, I had to go there. It was a cheap shot, but they earned it.
No. They earned it. They're pretty dumb.
All right, so pardon me. I don't know. I think I'm pretty over talking about the Republican National Convention. I am done with them as a whole. I don't think I can ever support them again. I will do my best to choose conservatives as much as I can on the down ticket voting, but I will be voting Gary Johnson. Again, that is twofold. One, I can't pull the lever for either one of the front-runner asshats. Two, the Libertarian ticket is on the ballot in my state for the first time in a very long time, and I want to try to make sure that they stay that way, because thanks to our arcane election rules, if they don't get 12% of the vote, they don't get to stay. So I'm going to do what I can to try to make sure that happens, only because at this point I firmly believe that we need other options. These conventions, these leaks, these parties share the platforms now sharing each other's talking points, the fact that they've gone away from their talk of diversity and have now put forward old white people on both tickets. It just, to me, it smacks of the fact that they're all a bunch of hypocrites. These leaks coming out about the DNC, and also the fact that Donald Trump is now targeting one of his own because he wouldn't consent or wouldn't kneel, is I guess the best way to put it. It just astounds me that we've gotten to this point, because we now have an openly corrupt system in both parties, and they don't even try to hide it anymore. It's just scary.
Maybe we should run Alex Jones.
Dude, I wouldn't. Never mind. It's not a fun thing to say.
My hero. I love you, Alex Jones. I hope you're listening.
See, I knew you were an Alex Jones fan.
No, I absolutely detest. I wish Cenk Uygur punched him in the face the other day when he interrupted the Young Turks. I literally despise Alex Jones.
Oh, so turn it over to Twitter for a second. There's been a pretty interesting feed going on. I had a little bit of a part in that. So one of the folks that I'm connected to on Twitter put out a tweet that said, "Why would Hillary Clinton pass on Cory Booker in the middle of all of the BLM Love Fest and pick some obscure old white guy asking for a friend?" And it's just one of those things that you're just kind of like, I don't understand. Again, I mean, look, I know Warren has bad optics. I understand that. Even the Democrats understand that Warren has bad optics. But she had other choices. And trust me, I'm not decrying her choice because I think it decreases her possibility of getting elected. But again, the issue that we have for the moment is, unless we can pull off a miracle, that leaves two. And I'm not comfortable with either one. I'm not delusional enough to think even if we can pull 12% and get Gary Johnson and the Libertarian Party on the ballot for 4 more years, that our little 7 electoral votes are going to put anything over the top. Because if I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure if it's not unanimous, they're split by vote percentage, and there's no way Gary Johnson's getting 100% of the vote, which means he may, if he gets 12% of the vote, wind up with 1 or 2 electoral college votes, and that's not going to be enough. I don't see Oklahoma putting it over the top. What does concern me is, thanks to these choices, Georgia is now officially being termed a potential swing state because there are too many folks that aren't comfortable with voting for Trump there. We'll see how it goes. I mean, and the thing about it is, no matter who we wind up with of those two, we're still screwed. I mean, think about this. Hillary Clinton announced her Veep pick on a Friday, for one. Who the heck announces your vice presidential candidate pick on the slowest news day of the week? Second of all, she announced it during the crisis in Munich and the shootings that were going on there, almost as if it was some crazy psychotic attempt to put the spotlight back on herself, even if just for a few minutes. The thing with this stuff is, none of it makes any sense. For the parties that keep screaming for diversity and change, and we want to make things better, and we want to be more inclusive, and the Democrats have had that locked up for decades. The Republicans have been chasing them on that fact for the last 20 years because the Republicans have had it locked up for at least that long. And now nobody's even batting an eyelash about the fact that there are 2 really old white people on that ticket.
Rick?
Yes?
Sorry, and I don't mean to interrupt you, but am I reading this headline right? I kind of want to send you the link, and I kind of want you to say it. So go on your Facebook, because I am sending you a link, and I want you to read it aloud to everybody listening.
Did you fact check it before you sent it to me?
I've seen it on a couple sources here. I've seen it on Off Guardian. I've seen it on whatever I sent you it, Real Independent News and Film. And it's trending on Facebook, so I don't know. Could you read that to me?
As soon as my hamsters catch up. Oh my God! Are you serious?
Yeah, wait, Rick.
Hello.
We're not in Kansas anymore.
This cannot possibly be true. I might have understood them throwing their support with Johnson. This has not been vetted, folks, so fact check it on your own. This is actually something that just started coming across the feeds. Apparently, the Koch brothers are now supporting Hillary Clinton, which may or may not be true.
Wait. That means that Bernie Sanders is indirectly supporting the Koch brothers. This can't be true.
Wait, what?
If Bernie supports Hillary and the Koch brothers support Hillary, Bernie is condoning the funding.
I see where you're going here. That's one of those 6 degrees of separation type things. I get it.
That's not even 6. That was 3, dude.
Well, yeah, but still.
I'm scared.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, folks, at this point, I guess it is starting to show up on social media. Fact check it on your own. I'm not saying whether it is or it is not true, but if it is true, we have officially jumped the shark, and this election cycle's gone to hell.
I mean, Rick, do you want to move? I'll chip in.
Where are we gonna go? I mean, at this point, there's been a running joke in one of the groups that I'm in that we were gonna kind of chip in and buy one of the smaller islands in Belize because apparently they sell them pretty cheap. I think that
is there room for one more? Do you mind?
I don't know. Cause see, you're liberal.
No, please, Rick, please. I didn't sign up for this shit. Please.
Well, I don't know. See, but the thing about this is, think about this for a second, because if this is true, if this is honestly true, and I'm not saying whether it is or it isn't, I'll fact check it before I go back on the air on Monday, and if I can find any other sources that talk about it, then I will definitely let you guys know what I was able to find out. But if this is true, this reinforces everything that I've been saying now for nearly 8 years. There is no difference between the parties. None. They're interchangeable. They tell everybody what they want to hear to get themselves into power, and then they do whatever the hell they want to do once they're in there anyway. And if the Koch brothers can just that blatantly switch allegiances to somebody that they claim to hate, mind you, and I don't use that word lightly because they've said it, then that should tell you that this is all one big joke and has been for quite some time.
Rick, what is true? Like, what is real? Am I dreaming? Am I still asleep? Is it still like 5 a.m. and I'm still sleeping, just dreaming about our show today and like this happened? What is going on, Rick?
I honestly, I don't know what to tell you, kid. But it like I said, this is the stuff that in some ways I've kind of seen coming for a long time and didn't even want to face on my own. And that's what I'm saying. At this point, this election cycle has basically started moving things forward at a pace that is almost completely unrecognizable. It's just crazy that we have gone to the point where, and again, if this is true, that means that a Republican group is now funding Hillary Clinton. And this is going to take a second to run, but I kind of thought this was appropriate. So give me just a second, and we'll go. Hang on, let me get past this part first, maybe. I hate it when they do that. All right, so apparently...
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
We'll talk about that later.
No, go ahead. We got a couple seconds before this queues up anyway.
There's apparently a third woman with allegations that she was sexually assaulted by Donald Trump coming forward, and if Roger Ailes warns us of anything, we might be electing Roger Ailes. I'm just saying.
Yeah, all right, so here we go. As soon as I get the volume back under control.
You want to know what it is. The Matrix is everywhere. It is all around us. Even now, in this very room. You can see it when you look out your window or when you turn on your television. You can feel it when you go to work, when you go to church, when you pay your taxes. It is the world that has been pulled over your eyes to blind you from the truth. What truth? That you are a slave, Neo. Like everyone else, you were born into bondage, born into a prison that you cannot smell or taste or touch.
All right, so it keeps talking for a while longer. I just thought that was kind of appropriate because right now it kind of feels like we're living in the Matrix. Just saying. So I did, while I was queuing that up, because I hadn't had a chance to read much of the article that you sent me, I did read through it a little bit more. This is not actually, this is one of the fallacies of this particular election cycle. And it's the same thing that I get shoved in my face every time I tell people that I'm not voting for Trump and I'm not voting for Hillary. What they basically said was they weren't going to, actually, hang on, let me get back to it again. They spoke with their investments on July 19th when they yanked their money from a U.S. senator whom they had always financially backed until now. They did it immediately after that senator not only went to the Republican National Convention where Donald Trump was to be nominated, but he gave there a powerful argument for Republicans to vote Trump. So what they actually did was they pulled funding from a senator who is supporting and endorsing Donald Trump. They have not blatantly come out and said that they were going to support Hillary Clinton. However, again, this is one of the things that happens quite often in our country because there is a rather linear binary thought process when it comes to elections, and the singular thought is if you're not supporting one, then you're automatically supporting the other. So it does seem to be a bit of a headline grab. It is interesting that they pulled funding from someone who was supporting and endorsing Donald Trump, but they have not actually ever come out and said that they were going to certainly, or that they were going to support or endorse Hillary Clinton.
Okay. All right. My stomach, that settled my stomach a little bit.
Well, yeah, it's one of those headline grab things, and that's another reason why I was trying to queue up something to kind of go along with the theme that we were talking about there for a moment, because it gave me a chance to read through the article a little bit better. So I retract my previous statement about the Koch brothers jumping the shark. However, I do still find it interesting that even they are not apparently financially supporting some of the folks that are more outspoken supporters of Trump. But again, that does not automatically mean that they are going to be supporting Hillary Clinton.
They don't feel the Trump yet?
Nobody wants to feel the Trump except for maybe his wife. Ugh, can't believe you went there. Ugh.
I hate him so much. He's a racist bastard.
Whatever. You know you wanted to be touched by Tiny Hands McGee.
I hate him.
You didn't at first. Even on this show, I have an archived show where it actually says that you were considering voting for Trump. I should make that part of our opening intro. Forever. And ever.
No.
Yeah, just because of the fact that you are completely freaking out about it, I may do that sooner rather than later.
I absolutely hate you. No.
That's all right. Sometimes I get that. It's fine.
I don't know what to do at this point. Like, Donald Trump is just such a bad option for America. You agree with me.
And
Hillary Clinton is not much better.
I was going to say, and she's better? I mean, come on. Dude, the head of the FBI basically outlined every freaking thing she did wrong and then said, meh.
I mean, yeah, but I'm still going to
look, it would be different. It would be different if he came out and said, we really didn't find much to go on. But he spent 5 minutes outlining every little thing that she did wrong. And actually, I wish I still had it, but I don't have it queued up. Somebody took the time to put what she said next to what he said over and over and over again. Then it was basically, I didn't do this, and then he says, but she did do this, and I didn't do this, but she did do that, and then I didn't do that, but she did do it. And it was just 5 minutes worth of that crap. And then he's like, but we have decided that we're going to turn it back over to the DOJ because we don't believe there's enough to pursue charges. People have been shot for less than what this woman did in this country. I'm just saying.
Well, what exactly did she do?
What exactly did she do? Do I need... Hang on. I can find it real quick. We can actually listen to what she said she didn't do, and then we can listen to what she actually did do.
No. I know what she actually did do, but what, like, I don't see it as like it could have been a lot worse than what she actually did. She is not responsible by any means for, deaths in Benghazi because she was sleeping, as Donald Trump put it. That was just a blatant lie on Trump's part. I mean, the email scandal, Colin Powell did the same type of thing, minus, I think, the private server. And to be quite frank, while I think she was dishonest and careless, and that's what the FBI said, she was just careless, but nothing with malice, I fail to see how she... I think she's being raked over the coals more so than necessary. And it's been done by Republicans for countless times, especially that Tim Gowdy, whatever his name is, who actually said that they couldn't find anything. He was the Republican who said, yeah, we can't find anything. This is pointless, essentially. Like, they just won't give up on her because this is the only thing they have to get her is the email scandal.
What's better than getting 25% off your next prescription?
My bad. I hate these ads.
Oh, I thought you were just leaving because I went pro-Hillary there. But other than that, like, really, there's not much to get her on, other than her policies and her questionable endorsements. I'm with her.
We already know this, Junior.
Sorry. It had to be said.
No, it didn't.
Alright, guys, I think Rick's in a really bad mood now.
No, actually, I was just trying to wait for the hamsters to catch up, but they're going to be retarded at this point, I think.
Hey, don't use the R word. Politically incorrect.
That she never sent or received any classified information on her personal email. Watch.
I did not email any classified material to anyone on my email. There is no classified materials.
I never sent or received any classified material. They are retroactively classifying it.
From the group of 30,000 emails returned to the State Department in 2014, 110 emails in 52 email chains have been determined by the owning agency to contain classified information at the time they were sent or received.
They were classified at the time.
Now, it goes on and on and on, but I want to point something out because this is the part everybody's glossing over. Everybody says she's not responsible for Benghazi. This is the simple truth of it. If any of the security exchanges going back and forth between the ambassador and Mrs. Clinton were on that unsecured server, then she may very well be responsible for Benghazi because that let anyone who wanted to hack into that system know exactly what was going on and the fact that they were short-staffed and he was continuing to scream for security. Now, you can blame whoever you want for the overall lack of security, but the simple fact of the matter is there is a good chance that they would have never known how bad it was if she was following protocol, and that's why this pisses me off.
Yes, I understand, but again, Colin Powell did the same thing, Condoleezza Rice did the same thing. And Republicans are...
And nobody died over it. I don't care who did what when. The simple fact of the matter is I don't think it was right that they did it either. And I've said that from day one. There need to be changes, and this outlines why there need to be changes.
I mean, there were 55 consulates that were killed during the Bush administration. I mean, come on. This same type of thing happened just as many times, more, under Bush.
Except the difference is, Bryce, we didn't leave them there to die. There was not a conscious choice to not defend those people that were killed. There was not a conscious choice to have commanders that wanted to violate the orders coming from the chain to go save these people that were relieved of duty. And we don't have time to continue this conversation because this happens every time we get to the end of the show. But the simple fact of the matter is there are variables here that your side of the argument doesn't want to acknowledge. And the simple fact of the matter is this attack might not have occurred if not for the fact that she was using unsecured resources to pass classified information back and forth.
Just when we get to the fucking good part, time to go to my show. All right. We'll pick this up next week.
Sure, why not? We're out of here, folks. Gotta make room for him. He's got like big important guests and stuff coming on.
They say we offer simple answers to complex problems. Well, perhaps there is a simple answer. Not an easy answer, but simple.